So, do you have any doubts from previous session?
We were good in our last session. It was very helpful and very knowledgeable. And we expect the same onward.
Sure, I'll try to do my best. Okay.
You wait.
Thank you. Okay. So, I would suggest you to continue writing few more test cases, okay, for this page as well. Okay, for validating this is these links, okay, this and these links. What happens upon clicking this small arrow, okay, and the additional suggestions and next page and all, okay. And we'll have a validation of the test cases again. You can mail me. I'll just validate. I'll just make the changes and mail you. If you have any questions regarding those changes that I made, we can discuss in the session.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So, I wanted you to write things in detail, like there should be only one action for one line in steps to follow, right? In steps to follow, I wanted you to write only one action in line. Okay?
Okay.
Because when automating, it will be easy. Okay? So, would you like start with automation testing, or would you like to go deeper into manual testing?
Sure, we can start the automation. That's okay.
It's going to be our main focus, right?
All right. Yeah, our introduction session was yesterday. I wanted to start with manual, and without manual, there is nothing to automate. Okay. Right. So, who is automation testing? Basically, you're building a robot to exactly do the actions, whatever you're doing. Actions. Okay. You want something else to do this action as it is. Okay. So for that, you're building a robot. A robot need not to be physical. It is in the form of a software or a code. Okay.
I have a question here. Well,
Sure.
Automation starts from the actions. Before that, whatever the work we have to do that, like write test cases and do those two steps we already did in manual testing, like summary point and the step was the of test case. Then after that, whatever is step, then we start from.
Yeah. So first you will write test cases. First test scenarios. Yes. First write test scenarios. Once your test scenarios are ready, you will start writing test cases, which are now with elaborate versions of test scenarios. Okay. So after that, now that you have step by step what to do, you try to implement these things in the code. Okay.
Okay. One more thing, Ms. Anusha. I studied that in that scenarios and test cases, there is a test story. Story. So where it stands and how that comes in this context. User story.
Okay. User stories are usually given by business analysts. So what the business analyst does is go and get the requirements, right? And he will prepare some sort of document which depicts the user requirements. The end user, whatever they have said, I want this, he'll put that into a requirement document, right? What's happening
Is that
these days
out of test? Is that out of test scenario?
no, it is requirements, like requirement document.
Okay.
So based on requirement document, you will be usually writing your test cases, right? So based on user story, you will write your test scenarios. Based on test scenarios, you will be writing your test cases. Instead of business requirement documents, these days people started using tools like Jira, where each requirement to one story. Instead of putting all the things in one document, they put one requirement into one story. Okay, whichever is completed, you can mark it as done and close the ticket, right? So they take it into user stories and put it into some sort of ticketing system. Okay, so coming to that point, what is the use of automation testing? Only people are afraid, like, if we automate something, there is the automation code to do our job. So we are not required anymore in the company, so they move us. Okay, only people think it that way, but that is not the case with automation testing. There are tons and tons of projects and enhancements coming. So we want to test it fast and more enhancements in a less number of days. Okay, so that we can keep the client with us. For example, there is Google Chrome and there is Mozilla Firefox. In Chrome, the ability to store passwords given very much earlier than in Firefox. Right, ability to manage passwords, the ability to control your own settings. All things were made very easy and simple. Okay, go to settings, all these options here. These were made very simple. And in Firefox, they still have the old school system. They have this for each and everything. You have to go to each one separately. So people usually prefer to go with Google Chrome because it is more advanced. Not only Google Chrome. We would like to prefer WhatsApp over Viber. We would prefer Facebook over Orkut, but more advanced. Okay, so to make that advancement, you will need to automate your old testing. When you do a new addition to a you don't have to spoil your existing things. So to verify that existing things are working fine, we will check it in a very quick manner with the help of automation testing. Okay. So why do we need to automate covers? For automating, use software applications. Some software application like Microsoft Word, which installed on your machine. Okay, so you can call it as a desktop application. Okay, if you are opening an application using a web like this, you have a web application. So multiple ways of automating web applications and okay. There are tons of tools in similar way to automate all of these. Such thing is QTP, that is IBM Relational Functional Tester, the other one. So usually prefer Selenium is most applications are web applications, except for those with product-based companies. Like Google has its own way of giving web. It also has few desktop applications, but mostly web applications. So most of the companies prefer web application testing. For web application testing, QTP, RFT, Selenium, all of these will support. But Selenium is free. Of QTP is a paid tool, RFT is a paid tool. No one would want to spend money, right? So people usually go with Selenium. Selenium is just a framework written in and codes like usually it was earlier written in C and C++. Okay, later it was migrated to all languages like Java, Python, Ruby, C# and all languages. So now it is supporting all the languages. And as I said, the main advantage of Selenium is that it is cost effective and easy to use. Various advanced than it can browser testing better than QTP and RFT. It can identify objects easily. It performs actions in a simple way. Okay, and yeah, in Selenium, the main advantage is that it can work with Linux, with Mac. It can work on any operating systems. But other paid tools work only with Windows. Selenium also supports mobile, but additional plugin called Appium, AIUM. You heard about it? Okay. So, and using Selenium, you can execute test cases in parallel. Like yesterday, we were discussing about parallel and concurrent testing. Okay, two test cases which are independent of each other. Okay, and you want to run two test cases in parallel to save some time. Selenium, but you cannot do that using other tools like QTP. So Python is possible only in Selenium. Advantage with Selenium is I will open my Eclipse, I will start running the script and get back to my work with some topic. Like I open my own application, I keep working here, I keep using other stuff to work. With respect to QTP, it needs application with which it is laying on the top. If you go some other page, it will fail, it will stop working. That's the best advantage of Selenium. Okay. And Qt also has its own benefits that it validates only web applications. Only through browser it can behave. But QTP can automate MS and stuff like that. Desktop applications it can work with. Selenium cannot work with desktop applications. Okay. There are few other benefits of QTP, like it being a paid tool, people provide better support. You can reach out to QTP guys for anything and all. But these days, using Quora, Stack Overflow, etc., you have a lot of support for Selenium. Any doubt you get, put that in Google and you'll have a answer in Quora or Stack. Mostly these two cover all your doubts.
So what do in case when like you have a desktop application you can use? Go ahead.
If our desktop application like Google Earth,
Mm-hmm.
Google Earth is a desktop application. Okay, you want to test it, you share it, you want to test it. If you want to test desktop applications, you need QTP. Selenium work. So only for web automation. Okay. And so any doubts as far in the first section, the introduction?
So our main goal is going to be on Selenium, right?
Yeah, Selenium, web-based automation.
Can we go mobile applications too?
Yeah, if time permits.
So we're in the field, like,
Do Selenium support mobile apps or all that stuff?
Selenium will support mobile app. For that, there is something called PM. This is of Selenium, which works for mobile automation.
Is that separate application or it's on the Selenium we are studying right now?
It will be an improvisation of the Selenium which we are going through now.
Oh,
Alright. Okay. Yeah. So, different flavors of Selenium. There are actually different versions. The first version was IDE, developed for Mozilla. From here, you can see Selenium IDE. And if you start recording, and then okay, write an address, google.com, enter. But it has recorded. So I come here and provide XM. So what did it record? It's so and so URL. Then type Selenium. Okay, it is something like XPath ID. Okay, this is a very old version of Selenium. They simply record and play. But that may not be the case all the time. It records only physical actions. It does not record non-physical actions. Okay, verification and stuff like that. It will not help you. There are advancements in it. Saying Selenium a web driver. There is a Selenium RC remote control in these two. Okay, this is actually a server. You have to install a server on your local machine and do some coding and work only if your application is running on your local machine. Like I open my local browser and try to run it, then it will run. If you want to open a browser on a different machine, I have a virtual machine, I will give its IP address and all, and then I will say run. It will not run. So there were few disadvantages for RC server. So they invented WebDriver, which we are currently working on. Okay. And apart from the WebDriver, we have something called grid. The Selenium grid is used to configure running of test cases. So I have 10 test cases. I have to run 5 of the test cases on Chrome and 5 of them on Mozilla. To set up that, it's Selenium grid. Else we can set up like this. I two virtual machines. I want to run 5 test cases on one virtual machine and 5 test cases on a different machine. Like one is Windows, one is Mac. I have to test both of them, right? For my application to be successfully tested. So I test some on this, some on that. So to set up that, Selenium Grid has an option called Hub. Okay, it sets up Hub in my local machine and it calls various host machines. Okay, like you can see here. So you have something called Hub. So it configure Hub and then it will configure its node machines. Okay.
Could you please explain what is hub and what is a node machine?
Okay. We have 10 machines to work on. Okay. So my local machine is this one, where I have my Selenium running. I have my Eclipse here, I have my Selenium here, so I will be the hub. Okay, I will give instructions for hub setup testing on different machines like this, like Windows and Mac. I want Windows and Mac, so I want so and so test case to be run on Windows. I want so and so test case to be run on Mac. I might prepare an Excel sheet. Okay, like test case 1 and name is Mac. Then test 2 machine name is Windows. Case 3 machine name is machine. Okay, I'll give details like this and give it to the hub. We'll take care of the test cases on different machines. It will spread out the test cases.
Okay.
So centralized node for systems are called nodes.
Nodes.
Yes.
So basically it takes your test script and then do some testing on all these nodes. Is that what happens?
Yeah, it will take my test script. It will split and distribute to its nodes depending on my configuration.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We'll go further deeper once we start implementing it. Okay.
Right.
So you guys have gone through the 9 tutorials which we went through.
In yeah.
Oh,
That's where
so,
that in these tutorials on for that before that it was that's a combination of two and the other one. So is there a difference in between, or it's the same thing but upgraded?
RT is included into Grid and driver is also included into Grid. So it's an upgraded version of all combined together. There will be few features with
Driver and RC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Improvised version. We will be using Selenium WebDriver all time before we run into Grid. Okay.
Okay.
You gotta install the WebDriver. Eclipse though. Actually, I have Neon. I don't have Neon Eclipse. I think is the folder I have.
And anything is fine. So you have this.
The Eclipse Java Neon. That's what I have.
No problem. The correct one. So once you click Java Neon, you go to seleniumhq.org/download. This one. It goes. After this, you have this Java download. Okay. So you download, then a zip file that you get.
Selenium Java. Yeah, Selenium Java 3.01.
Yeah, just a second.
So, the older version, okay.
Anything will do, not a big deal. Once you have this, okay, I'm going to extract it to a folder. This folder,
jar files just transferred to Eclipse, right?
right?
Yeah, I did that already, yeah, actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then just checking if something else is required here. Start filter and so I hope you guys have
Yeah.
so Firefox is the default browser which Selenium is comfortable working with. Okay.
Four components.
Sorry.
Components of Selenium. So the Firefox is the basic.
Yeah, we don't work with all 4 components. We working only with WebDriver.
Okay.
IDE is something simple. I just have shown you, which captures only your physical actions.
Right.
And I have shown you here, right, in Firefox Selenium IDE. But we don't have much to work with it. Just that record and layer again. Then, so about IDE, working with Selenium IDE, you might get a doubt. Target. How is the target coming? Please go ahead.
Yeah, the target is the testing place.
So you can say target is the web element. Yeah. So how is it identifying my web element? Is it this is a link? This is a link. Both have a HTML, right?
Right.
So how is it identifying which is my link? So I will put here record. Yes, it recorded. Link equal to Selenium web automation. Then I come back. It did. I record few things. Okay. So how did get? Where did get
So
this from?
while I was studying on the IDE, is if you wanna test link, and as we did here, you record that it, and that is click find. It turn yellow, but sometimes it turn yellow and go off right away. It happens.
When you are playing this, it will run yellow.
The find. Oh, it's with the bug actually.
Okay. We'll come to that. This is ID.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
So, no problem. So to get the target, we need something called bug. If you search in Google for Firebug, you will get like this. It is an add-on for Firefox. Okay. You can install that by saying add to Firefox. Okay. After doing Firebug, you can do Firepath. Two things. Okay. So also, you'll have to add to Firefox. After doing, you will see something like this. Like okay. So you can click on that, or you can click F12. And this is the Firebug tab. Firepath is what we have installed. We have Firepath. In Firepath, it is easy to get that which we see in IDE. Okay, so the locator, they are called locators. Instead of target, we call them as locators. Okay. So each of the web element, this is a web element. This is a web element. Small arrow button is a web element. The downloads, the thing are web elements. Okay. So identify each of the web elements with a distinct value with this one. These are the tools to identify, but usually in Chrome we don't have Firebug, right?
Right.
So how do you think you can identify XPath? You don't have
We have to
Firebug
open
here.
Chrome. We have to open Chrome or Google on Mozilla Fox. Can use Firebug and Selenium IDs.
In Firefox, you can use Firepath and Firebug to get these locators. Okay. Locators are multiple types. Okay, one of them is XPath. XPath is not everything. Okay, you can find elements by name. And in the prior case, you saw link equal to the IDE. You remember link equal to Selenium web browser. Right. So find elements by linked text. This is another method. Find elements. ID, name, link text, XPath, CSS, and there are few others also which are rarely used, like tag. Okay. So it is one of them. You get CSS selector also from here only, from Firepath. It has two options, XPath and CSS. Now I want to
So
get.
what do you use? Sorry. What do you use CSS for?
It is just another kind of identifier, like I've shown you. Okay, we have multiple types of identifiers like ID, name, link text, path, CSS. To look at given element, to identify a given element, we need one of these unique items.
It's a reason why you use CSS, right? If you have XPath.
There are times when XPath is very tough to get and CSS is easy to get. CSS selectors are easy, but in rare cases, most of the cases XPath is efficient.
Okay.
So now, the first thing I want to do is get XPath for this box. XPath. Two things. I can pick the inspector from here, which under cursor, where I'm going to highlight
Right.
this here and take the box. Else you can do one more thing. What element you're working on, take your mouse there, right, and go with inspect in FirePath. Okay, this will also take you to the same place. Now, right click inspect in FirePath. It says that is my item. So I try to keep my mouse on the starting HTML tag. This is tag, input tag. So when I keep my mouse here, the object will be shown, the web element will be highlighted in blue. Actually, one of you were saying that it should be highlighted in yellow, right?
Right.
They change to blue.
Okay.
So once you hover, if you hover somewhere else, it will not turn. You have to hover on the starting tag like this. Okay? Hope you have some idea about HTML.
So highlight that HTML tag and then hover the mouse on, or just hover on.
No, just hover. Just hover. You don't have to highlight.
Just hover.
Yeah, just hover.
Okay.
See, I took this. I have my button and clicked on my button. I click this. Okay, after clicking, I move my mouse accordingly wherever I want to go. What I want to go. Okay. After going there, again I have to click it. Click, navigate, click. Okay. So upon clicking this will highlight. Then if you want to test it, for example, even without hovering, it is highlighting in blue lines here, right? Which means this is correct. But I was trying to identify this, it was not highlighting. Right? In this case, I will hover and check.
Okay.
If I see a blue line box already, I don't have to hover and check. If I'm not getting that, I will have to hover and check.
That makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, and this is the XPath which is given by the FirePath. Okay, you can remove the dot in the beginning. That's any difference. Okay.
So validation of web elements by using FirePath.
But the problem is FirePath is giving me only XPath and path. CSS path, I go here, click here. It says it doesn't have a CSS selector. It has a CSS. It has an only XPath. Okay. But as we see from here, there is an option called locate elements by ID. For this, you don't have to take the entire XPath. You can see here that there is something called ID. Okay, so you have to copy this ID. That's all. You have to and you have to work with it. Okay, that's how you have to locate elements using ID. Then you have some option called locate element by name. Sometimes, just like there is an ID attribute for this HTML, there is a name attribute. So name is Q. You click find element, by name, and name is Q. You take only Q. That's all.
So we only take
It
what's
is
in
I-
the quotations, right?
Right, inside the quotations.
Okay.
So this is by ID, this is by class, and then you have like this. Then this is a link. Right. This is having a link. So for links, something that is having a and link text. Link text is something is inside this tag. This one link text. So you identify a text. You will this arrow called assets and write various attributes of HTML and you close the tag. Bracket here. Okay. First time you will close the angular bracket. After closing the angular bracket, there is text. This text is called link text. After this, you will have to close the HTML tag. Then the angular brackets will close here and text will start. After text is over, your HTML tag will have a close. Okay. So this will be your link text. Same name and all. And this text is same as what you see here. Some web browser automation, you see it here, right?
Yeah.
It's the same text what you see here. And this one. Okay. The XPath with direct. Here is right click. In Firepath, you get the XPath. Done. CSS path. So the FL is CSS path. This part is not unique. It's giving 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on. So it is not unique. Your XPath or ID or whatever you are taking here, the link text, these things have to be unique if you want to work with. That is the golden rule. Okay? Whatever format, whatever locator you are working with, it is unique. Okay, so for that reason.
Okay, one question, Miss Anderson.
Sure, sir.
Okay, right here I see that we are finding the help of XPath and CSS. So what is the difference between finding and validating or verifying the balance.
I did not get your question, sorry. What is the mean?
Here, all of these elements we are checking the XPath or CSS. Here's finding, finding element, finding all that up. But do we doing validation or verifying or finding, or it's all
No.
okay?
Not doing any validation here. We are just getting the XPath from here. We are not validating anything.
Okay.
First reading. So in manual, what did Google search icon, a button. Okay. So for the robot which you design, it will not understand if you say Google search icon.
Right.
It's something in this which you see here in HTML. So path is something which traverses through the HTML document and what suits some in its condition. Okay. Path is nothing but a search query. You have a control F here and have Selenium. Okay. Search, it is in here. Okay. So
Right.
this XPath is something similar to search inside code. If you give //div, it will 1 div, 2 div, 3 div. I told 24 matching.
So what I understand from here is that XPath or CSS will find the web elements to test. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay.
You just give name to the which you are going to work with. Is looking like a code again. Next is next link. That's all. But for XPath, it is like a code to identify this part. Okay.
And CSS, these are tools to find out the code for that specific web element.
So I have this. My XPath says /ID equal to and so blah 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 blah. There is nothing complicated here. There is only ID. Okay. It uses only ID. It is not using / input. It is not using name. It is not using anything. So using only ID. So in this case, it is best to use ID. Okay. So ID. And might be cases when. So same thing. I will write name Q. Same thing. It is not using anything except name. So I will take by name. First I will try to get XPath. If XPath is simple and straightforward, I'll use one of these three things. If it is complicated, then I will take XPath.
Right.
Yeah. So we have gone through the topics till here. Okay. for writing your own IDE script without record and playback, you have to learn how to write XPath, right? So for that, I want you to learn how to write XPath. Okay. For that, XPath stands for XML Path Language. Don't get confused between XML, but we are using for HTML. Don't get confused like that. HTML is a subset of XML. HTML is one form of XML. XPath is applicable to all XMLs. HTML being one of XML, we use it. Okay, I would like to give this to you guys to go and to learn XPath. Okay, so for that, okay, I want you to write XPath for 10 elements. Then Google search the button G-link right top corner. Okay, then images link sign in button, search for Selenium manually, and get me XPath for links pages and next button, sorry, next link, like the and page numbers. Okay, so this will be your practice related to XPath and compare test cases that you did writing.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Any doubts you have related to session?
We're good.
When about the tutorial, right? We go on that to learn how to write it.
I'll view the website.
Because I don't think we're supposed to do.
I gave you this website like w3schools.com for tutorial. In the WebEx, we have chat window. In chat window, I sent you all. Okay, and it says introduction. After you're done with the introduction, you can go technology. What does what we call this as a tag? We call this as attribute. We call this as value. We call this as text. Okay, so it will break and explain you what is what. Okay.
You can see, Mr. Misha, you record the session today?
Yeah, got it. I'll upload it.
Okay, cool. That's great.
Did you get yesterday's session?
Yes. Yes, I did, and that's really very helpful. Go on again, and that helps me.
I will do the same for this as soon as possible. Okay. It's like midnight, 12:30 for me. I will do it
Okay, nice.
as soon as I wake up in the morning. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. So you have all the details like XPath syntax, how to write, all the details. You can keep going next and next. Okay.
Okay, good. You want it written in like an ID or link text, XPath or anything, right?
I need to write XPath for things that I've pinged you in chat.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, rather than pinging it there. Put notepad. This is what I have messaged you guys. Search bar, search button. Okay, so I want you to write like this. Search button, search bar, and what is the path for it? Blah blah blah. Okay. Then button. That is the X for it. I want to write your XPath like this. Please write XPath only, not required to write ID, CSS, all this. You don't have to write these. You can write only XPaths.
Okay.
Make sure you go through the entire XPath thingy I have shown you here in the W3 school, and try as much as possible. Okay. He tells you what is slash, what is slash slash, why is he using dot. Like here, they will give something. You can come here. So there is a dot. What does dot mean? There is double slash. What does double slash mean? The star. What is the meaning of the star? You can go through the entire thing like this. Okay? Yeah. So, shall we close for the day? You having else?
Sure. Okay. Good night.
Okay. See ya. Have a nice day, guys.
Okay.